Welcome back to We're Not Really Here, full-time in Germany. And before I tell you the result, I wonder if you can just look at Mr. Kevin Horlock and see if you can work out what it is. Are you all right, Kev?
I feel exhausted, mate. I still look like that drunk uncle at a wedding family party, but it's a happy drunk uncle now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, nervous. Oh.
It had it all. It really did. We are, of course, talking about our 2-1 win over in Germany, which made it 4-2 on aggregate in our quarterfinals, which means for the second time in the club's history, we are going to the Champions League semi-final, and a fixture against Mauricio Pochettino's PSG awaits. I mean, Kev, what a second half that was.
Yeah, fair play. The mentality led by Kevin De Bruyne, you've got to say it. I know we highlight him a lot, but he just led it as a captain from the front, drove forward, had moments of brilliance. And in the end, it's mad. We just spoke about the mentality of pressure. Once we get that extra goal, then all of a sudden the shackles are off and we keep the ball really comfortably. But yeah, it's what we expected as Blues. Nervy moments where we doubted it, and in the end, really comfortable. So yeah, we go home happy tonight.
We really, really do. Richard, there was so many kind of different moments we could talk about, but as a whole, what do you think was the biggest collective change from that first half to the second half?
Just whatever the manager said to them at half time, it just instilled a belief in them. And psychologically for them going forward to put a performance like that in the second half when you're already 1-0 down, you're up against it a little bit, there's nerves, there's panic, there's memories of what's gone before. To be able to put all that to a side and sort of, when you're struggling, when you're behind, you want to play what you know. And City kept a formation and a system and a style that they've played all season. And they just used it tonight, and they blew Dortmund away in the second half. And then obviously when you get 2-1 up, they were so calm and relaxed and like they were almost enjoying it. And they felt having that pleasure of playing in a quarter final. The pressure had gone and they knew what they were doing, and it was brilliant. And yeah, the goals were great, certainly Phil's.
Well, let's talk about those goals. We'll come to Phil's in just a second. First of all, the Riyad Mahrez penalty. I mean, I know you take a few penalties in your time, of course, big one for us in the 99 infamous season, but just tell us, I mean, the nerves there for Mahrez must have been.
It made me feel ill. Made me feel sick, because obviously I've took a few over my career. I've missed a few as well. It's just the weight as well. It just seemed unaged until it was actually given, and then you think De Bruyne has taken this, Mahrez. I felt sick to the pit of my stomach, but fair play to him. And nerves of steel. Definite
handball.
Yes, for me. Look, I know Chan's saying he's tried to head it, but he's got his arm out. I think he knew he was struggling. Once it just the cross just comes slightly away from me, he's reaching with his arm, and it's always in danger. Once it touches it, it's a definite penalty for me, yeah.
Of course, we got that goal, that all-important kind of away goal, and then it still kind of hung in the balance a bit. And Richard, as you said, we kind of tried to assert our game, and then if there was going to be one man to pop up, and you called it, Kev, Phil Foden. I mean, what do you even say to that?
It was brilliant, and it came from a corner which Kevin De Bruyne created with his amazing run and shot, which the keeper saved, and then you think the opportunity's gone, and then when it came out to Phil, I've never seen a ball hit so hard and so sweetly. And the goalkeeper, potentially he could have saved it, but the ball was struck so well and so cleanly. And then to go off and run and celebrate with the manager in a photograph that'll be shown all around the world, I think it's brilliant. And
I said we thought he was coming through the screen to Uncle. The proud uncles, yeah. I was like that. I was so disappointed when he stopped at Pep.
I mean, it just seemed, obviously, he just keeps on kind of raising his game. We talk about like coming of age moments, but now really with something like that feels like it's just the coming of age season, really, to have done it in Liverpool against Liverpool in the Premier League, in a Champions League quarter final. The sky really does just feel the limit for him, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's the confidence that he's got, it's the ability that he's got, and keep going back to the time it's taken for him to become this player. It doesn't just happen overnight, and the club have treated him amazingly. The manager's understood his pathway, and you're getting now not just a player who's graduated through the academy, you're getting a world-class footballer who's playing for an unbelievable team, and he's got so much more to give and so much more to come from.
Wow. Very, very exciting indeed. Well, we thought Phil was coming through the TV for us. Of course, our producers and all the team behind this show love keeping the cameras rolling while the game is on, and I think we can now bring you some highlights of myself and, well, I'd say me and Kevin, really. We're all three of us watching the game. Check this out. Here we go. I think that was it, wasn't it? We were talking. I didn't know what to do myself. That was the penalty awarded. You couldn't even watch the penalty, Kev.
I'm behind the sofa. Oh dear. Oh, there, look, the tie's on the head already. Look like Turtle Ninja.
Uh-oh.
It's like we're doing it to them. Oh no.
I mean, that's probably me texting my dad there. oh man. Phil Foden. Little boogie. There we go.
Hey, I didn't know you could move so well, Cal.
Neither
The
did
old
I, to be
two-step,
honest
you could have
with
been at that wedding with the drunk uncle.
Yeah, he's got a couple of dance moves from
That's
him.
his moves.
But now, I mean, now we can now actually just take a moment and go. We're progressing through to the semi-final. The PSG team that we've seen over the last 2 weeks, Neymar, Mbappe. How do you feel about that, Kev?
It doesn't get any easier, does it? But we're talking Champions League. They're a top team. There's no doubt. And it's a game that they probably feel like they've got a chance to go through. Of course, they're a top team in their own right. But it's exciting times. Still fighting on all four fronts. Progressing to the semi-final, we'll take that all day.
Oh, we really, really will. Of course, that is what awaits for us. City versus PSG. Meeting as well Pochettino, and I think Alistair Mamma alluded to it there, of course. I mean, that'll be a nice reunion after that Tottenham game. Do you think, though, you mentioned it there before, Richard, but given that second half, do you think there will now be a kind of impetus and going, we have to try and play like that from the first whistle? Or is it hard to kind of do that?
Yeah, I'm sure there will be. I'm sure that'll be the thought, but you think the stress levels and the nerves and everything is high tonight. When the semi-final comes around, it doubles again. And PSG have the experience. They were in the final last year. They'll be desperate to go one further, and they're in a similar situation to us in terms of they're a club who expect to win the Champions League, who want to win the Champions League, and they've got certainly in two of the best footballers in world football. So it's got all the makings of a brilliant match and a really exciting tie.
Can't wait for that. Now, before we talk about our next game, which is another final, would you believe, against Chelsea. That's 2 Champions League semi-finals going head-to-head in the FA Cup. Before that, though, just reading some of the messages that have been coming in on Twitter. Thank you so much for getting in touch from all around the world. Just really brilliant to see. We had Zaba96 with an X on Twitter who said, "Dear Man City, you make me happy." Same. I could say the same. I love that Phil Foden, Prince of the Etihad. That was from Maro Aduku on Twitter. Jack at Aguero Prop on Twitter said the passion with the lovely love heart emoji. And just very simple from Mathinzi Miz, I hope I said that right, just says thank you, Man City. And I think I can echo that and say thank you so much. I mean, you make us work for it and you make us stress, but we do love you all the same. I mentioned it there, Kev. Another final awaits now at the weekend, of course. Wembley, semi-final in the FA Cup against Chelsea. It's not an easy fixture.
No, and like they're going well. They're in good form as well. So it's a tough one. But again, there'll probably be a little bit of rotation, trying to keep the players all fresh, and go and finish the job. We're at the business end now.
Yeah.
We're getting at the business end. So it's just a matter about continuing what they've done, keeping the high standards, and go and get the job done.
And that rotation, I mean, we're still on all four fronts, and here at the club, and obviously the message, we just go by game. I mean, it's a very difficult thing to do. That has to be important, though, doesn't it? That anyone who comes in, we have to maintain the same level now to the end of the season.
Yeah, and I think it goes Saturday, Wednesday, Wednesday again, you know. So there's so many games coming up, and like Kev says, it's the business end. This is when you get the glory and you want your best players fresh, and I think the way the squad's been rotated over the season, they will be. It's just it's unbelievable that they're still in all these competitions. They've got so much to play for, and yeah, hopefully this weekend we can get ourselves to a final.
Well, We're Not Really Here is going to be with you as well, of course, for that semi-final and all the rest of the games for the rest of the season. So do make sure you come and join us as well. Remember, City Plus as well is where you can get match highlights, whole load of City documentaries as well. Mystery Blue, guys, it was a tough one this week, and even our super guest Kev struggled. Let's take a look at who we were trying to work out this is. Got some of your guesses here as well. We had Niall Quinn from Julie Tomlinson on Twitter. We had David Silva, which I don't think it is. That was from Buffet 1965 on Twitter. But Godfrey also thought it might have been David Silva. We had a Wayne Bridge guess from Ant AAMCFC. A few people are saying David Silva actually now. So I'm going, have I really kind of preempted?
I still really haven't got a clue, I must admit. I'm trying to squint and see I got caught on camera then. Oh no.
Shall we find out? Yeah.
You had a little guess though, Dunny, didn't you? What
but
did you
it's
say?
Definitely wrong.
Oh, it is David Silva!
wow.
It's the blue, it was the vest.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Champions
Never got
League
that.
vest has thrown us. Wow. Well done to Biffet1965 on Twitter, Godfrey Fury, we had Leslie Blaney, we also had Zybers Devonte, who guessed Silva, Fidaris guessed David Silva, and we have also had David Silva guessed by Carl Sprotston
How
on
fitting,
Twitter.
though. He'd have been proud of Phil Foden tonight, wouldn't he?
Yeah, so true, actually, yeah, really. I'm sure he was watching as well from over in Spain. And finally, now, if you've been watching before the game and at half-time, of course, we were handing out one lucky fan with a Manchester City shirt. All you had to do was send us your setup for how and where you were watching the Champions League game. And we had some brilliant ones come in. But the one that we've given it to, we had Joanna over in Malmo in Sweden who was watching it there. I think that's your son and your husband. We also had watching from cloudy Birmingham, featuring my kit from a 6 months old and scarf. That was Callum on Twitter. But who we wanted to give it to is Zebra100CP on Twitter, who said, we're not really here, working away in Florida, currently in COVID quarantine and suffering from jet lag, watching We're Not Really Here on the hotel TV room from a laptop. So we thought it's only right, if you're in there for the next week or so, then you can know that there is a Manchester City shirt coming your way. Lovely stuff. So, gents, what an absolute pleasure. Kevin, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We need
off for a cold shower now, cool down. Feel exhausted. I feel like I played 90 minutes.
And
there.
we need to start sorting out getting our suits made, don't we,
yeah.
for the
Get ready.
semi-final. There we go.
Puma
Puma,
suits.
if you're watching, the 3 suits for Richard Dunn, Kevin Horlock and Kel Spellman, please. Richard, thank you so much as well. Always a pleasure. And to you beautiful people at home, thank you for joining us on We're Not Really Here. So there we have it. A Champions League semi-final tie awaits against PSG. And then the other side of that, after 2 games, possibly a game in Istanbul, keeping everything crossed. But come join us for that FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea, taking place at Wembley, and we'll see you there an hour before kick-off. Until then, though, enjoy the rest of your week, and it has to be said to Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden, all the boys at Pep Guardiola, we love you and thank you. Come on, City.